Thinking it over, the old man gave up on the idea of making Dong Huang Haojing the sect master, even if the latter was innocent. Looks like some plans need to be changed. After calming down, Elder He's aged face was less angry. However, he still didn't give Dong Huang Haojing a good look and said coldly, "Does the fact that the Dongchuan secret realm's entrance opened in the extreme east mean that the sect will be in pain in the future? Isn't that obvious?" Dong Huang Haojing nodded, but then he felt something was wrong. Today's elder was too strange, making him uneasy. Actually, this old man had been the great elder of the sword sect since Dong Huang Haojing's father's time. It had been at least years since his father's death, and he had never seen the old man lose his temper before. "Elder He," Dong Huang Haojing asked in confusion, "is it not a good thing that the Dongchuan secret realm's entrance opened in our extreme east? It's both good and bad." Elder He said truthfully. Seeing Dong Huang Haojing's confusion, he sighed, "Haojing, although the formation opening in the extreme east allows our sect's elites to seek opportunities, it also means a lot of trouble." After a pause, Elder He looked at the curious Dong Huang Haojing and continued, "Dongchuan is too big. Even mentioning its treasures would be impossible. It's hard to say how many of our sect's elites who go in can come out alive. You know that the so-called cultivation world is all about fighting for resources. There are no rules in the Dongchuan secret realm. It's a jungle. Do you think our current weak disciples can compete with the geniuses of those big forces?" Hearing this, the initially excited Dong Huang Haojing calmed down. Thinking it over, it was indeed true. Elder He's voice suddenly became cold. "As far as I know, there are already several geniuses in the Heavenly River realm in Dongchuan who can challenge those in the core formation realm." Listen carefully, I said challenge, not compete equally. "Do we have such people in our sect?" With a change of tone, Elder He sarcastically said, "In fact, those so-called geniuses in our sect might not even be able to survive in the Dongchuan secret realm, let alone find opportunities. Even staying alive will be a problem." Damn, I've been outsmarted by this old man. Dong Huang Haojing was now a bit frustrated. Dong Huang Haojing quickly composed himself. "It seems like we need to carefully select those who enter the secret realm and order them to work together. They should avoid dangerous places as much as possible." Clearly, Dong Huang Haojing had been swayed by Elder He's exaggerated words. Given the vastness of Dongchuan, we'll surely encounter the geniuses of those powerful forces. Even if it's not a fair fight, those geniuses definitely won't hesitate to attack our young disciples. More importantly, Dongchuan is divided into two levels. Each formation leading to Dongchuan has two portals. One is for cultivators in the Hotian realm, and the other is for cultivators in the Xiantian realm. In other words, even if our sect's geniuses enter the secret realm, they don't have to worry about encountering core formation experts, because those experts can't enter the Xiantian realm. The highest cultivation level allowed in the first level of the secret realm is the peak of the Heavenly River realm. This is enough to ensure the safety of our disciples. After teasing Dong Huang Haojing, Elder He finally started to speak seriously. "Haojing, compared to those potential dangers, the opening of Dongchuan in the extreme east is still beneficial. At least, our sect will have more core formation experts soon. The Dongchuan secret realm is a great place. It is filled with ancient relics, and even the weakest spiritual energy contains a huge amount of Xiantian qi. You need to carefully consider those who will be the first to enter the secret realm." Dong Huang Haojing came for this very thing. He asked, "Elder He, on my way back, I was considering having Zui Qiuyao lead the group." Elder He shook his head immediately and said somewhat solemnly, "That girl is rebellious by nature and difficult to control." "Are you sure you want her to lead the group? Rebellious?" Dong Huang Haojing was surprised. He had never heard Elder He mention this before. If he had known earlier, he would not have let Zui Qiuyao become the sect's leader. Thinking that Elder He was joking, Dong Huang Haojing asked, "Elder He, is this true?" "Had ha." Elder He chuckled non-committally. "If you don't believe me, let's wait and see. You can test my words." Now Dong Huang Haojing became nervous. It would be a joke if the sect spent so much resources to raise a traitor. Since I've returned to the sect, I really need to be more cautious. This had a lot to do with the sect's kindness towards its disciples. Then we can't let her enter the secret realm. Dong Huang Haojing immediately made a decision. Elder He shook his head again and said mysteriously, "Why stop her? If it's destined to happen, you can't stop it. You can only delay it once, not twice." Dong Huang Haojing was not stupid, and he understood immediately. If he didn't let the sect's chief disciple enter the secret realm, it would cause a bad influence. If Zui Qiuyao really betrayed the sect, she could leave the sword sect and find a way to enter the secret realm somewhere else. In fact, Dong Huang Haojing didn't know that Elder He was doing all of this to create momentum for Yang Chen. Many people would be involved in the rise of a true hero, and unfortunately, Zui Qiuyao was chosen by Elder He. Dong Huang Haojing was in a pickle. Besides Zui Qiuyao, he didn't know who else to send. He needed someone to lead the sword sect's disciples into the secret realm. Unfortunately, the younger generation in the Dongwon clan wasn't very capable, and there were not many exceptional talents. Besides, it was not appropriate to send his two sons. Dongwon Haozheng was very disappointed with his oldest son, Dongwon Jia. He was most satisfied with Dongwon Lin, but he hadn't grown enough. Seeing that Dongwon Haozheng couldn't make a decision, Elder, he said, Dongwon Wangkai is pretty good. What do you think? Wangkai. Dongwon Haozheng's eyes lit up, and he suddenly remembered. He had mostly ignored Dongwon Wangkai because he was a new disciple. Dongwon Wangkai was suitable in almost every aspect, especially his determination, which Dongwon Haozheng highly valued. Then, it's Wangkai. Dongwon Haozheng made his decision. Elder, he felt like he had to take care of everything. He hoped that Dongwon Wangkai would be a good shield for Yang Chen. After chatting for a while, Dongwon Haozheng took his leave. On his way back, Dongwon Haozheng was puzzled. Why was Elder he so worried? What was he worried about? After leaving Jianwuk, Yang Chen returned to his cultivation room and heard Elder Rong's voice again. Little Chen, tell me about your current situation. I know about your 5 souls and bloodline, but I don't know about anything else. Yang Chen immediately realized that this was a good opportunity. They say, a crying child gets the milk. He had to pretend to be poor, and perhaps he could get some benefits from the old man. Maybe even huge benefits. Yang Chen put on a pitiful expression and said sadly, Elder Rong, I've been wandering around in a poor place since I was young. My parents went missing in an accident when I was young, and I've been alone ever since. Yang Chen, who was completely in character, became more and more miserable, and was almost in tears. He treated Elder Rong like a close relative, and poured out all his grievances from the past few years. Elder Rong, I was unlucky and met an unreliable master, who even wasted my 5 souls. If I hadn't spent a lot of effort to find the soul-nurturing herb for him, he would still be a waste now. Elder Rong was speechless. This child is really unlucky. Then, Yang Chen said, however, my master was not bad. He taught me some basic swordsmanship and even prepared a sword for me. Unfortunately, it's just a normal wooden sword. I was hoping that it would be able to awaken a spirit. Elder Rong finally understood Yang Chen's thoughts and said angrily, Little Chen, you're very lucky to have such a master. Do you know what kind of material that wooden sword is made of? Yang Chen shook his head, secretly surprised. Judging from Elder Rong's tone, the material of the wooden sword seemed extraordinary. That's Su Yang wood. Have you ever heard of Su Yang wood? Yang Chen had not. Elder Rong expected that Yang Chen had never heard of it, so he explained, Little Chen, Su Yang wood is extremely rare, especially for a fire attribute celestial Taoist. It's a treasure that everyone dreams of. Furthermore, once Su Yang wood awakens a spirit, it can sense the aura of earthly fire, or even heavenly fire, within a certain range. What? Yang Chen was stunned. So the Su Yang wood was this amazing. Yang Chen became excited and chuckled, if my wooden sword awakens a spirit in the future, wouldn't it be able to help me find treasures everywhere? I can sell the ordinary ones, and I can fuse the high-level ones into my sword to increase its power. That old guy, Gong's son, was really ignorant. He actually gave me such a treasure. Yang Chen was delighted. However, Yang Chen didn't show it. Elder Rong, if Su Yang wood is so amazing, then it must be difficult for my wooden sword to awaken a spirit, right? It's not easy. It depends on your luck. Actually, Elder Rong could have helped the wooden sword awaken a spirit, but that would be harmful to Yang Chen. As a master of his level, Elder Rong knew how important the first weapon was to a cultivator. Yang Chen originally planned to ask Elder Rong for a good weapon, but after learning that his wooden sword was made of Su Yang wood, he dropped the idea. He didn't need a weapon for now, but he lacked a lot of other things. Yang Chen said pitifully, Elder Rong, I've only cultivated one type of swordsmanship. Do you have any useful swordsmanship techniques? Elder Rong did have sword techniques, and they were not ordinary ones but divine ones. Unfortunately, even if these sword techniques were given to Yang Chen, they would not be very useful. First, Yang Chen's cultivation level was too low. Even if he spent a lot of time, he would only learn a little about these divine sword techniques. Elder Rong was well aware that the 4 realms of the Hotian stage were just the most basic level. Without a solid foundation, one's future achievements would be limited. Elder Rong did not intend to reveal any divine sword techniques to Yang Chen until he reached a certain level. After a pause, Elder Rong pretended to be disappointed and said with a smile, Little Chen, I really don't have any sword techniques here. He did not have any sword techniques, nor weapons. It was clear that Elder Rong did not want Yang Chen to have any other ideas. Damn it! Yang Chen cursed in his heart. Elder Rong smiled, noticing Yang Chen's disappointment. Little Chen, what level are you at now? Don't aim too high. The importance of a solid foundation is hard to understand now, but you will regret it if you don't build a solid foundation. Changing his tone, Elder Rong said, however, for now, Your foundation is pretty solid. By the way, do you know what those basics are? Honestly, Yang Chen did not have a clear understanding of the so-called basics. Thinking of Yang Chen's background, Elder Rong was not too surprised. Let me explain. Little Chen, there are 3 important points to the so-called basics. The first is soul power. Although it is not obvious in the Hotian stage, it will be different once you enter the Xiantian stage. In the 4 realms of the Hotian stage, so-called geniuses are just a joke. Only by reaching the Xiantian stage will one truly display their talent, and soul power is the most important. Soul power. Yang Chen did not know what his soul power level was. Before Yang Chen could ask, Elder Rong continued, the second important point is perception, or divine sense. You're already at the top level in this aspect. Based on this, your soul power shouldn't be weak. Hearing this, Yang Chen, who was a bit discouraged, felt somewhat relieved. Besides soul power and perception, the third point is more complex. The third basic element is luck. So-called luck is quite uncertain. Ha! Yang Chen smiled. He thought that his luck had always been pretty good. Elder Rong suddenly became serious. Don't underestimate this luck. Even a cultivator with high talent can suffer if they have bad luck, losing their cultivation base or even their lives. There have been too many examples of this throughout history. Many geniuses have died while reaching the peak of cultivation due to bad luck. As for you, little one, your luck seems okay. Actually, Elder Rong was very satisfied with Yang Chen. He believed that Yang Chen's future was limitless with his guidance. After explaining the importance of the basics, Elder Rong said, almost all cultivators in the Hotian stage are pursuing temporary power and are seeking quick success. They are foolish. After sighing, Elder Rong changed his tone and asked, although that's the case, I still don't know the quality of your true energy and your cultivation technique. Tell me about them. If they're too bad, it will be a waste of time. Only then did Yang Chen realize that the old man had said so much because he was worried about the quality of his true energy and cultivation technique. His cultivation technique, the Taigu Mo Long Ju, was very heaven-defying. Just the first chapter, Kan Tian Jing, was enough to steal the power of heaven and earth. Yang Chen didn't even know if the cultivation techniques Elder Rong had were better than his Taigu Mo Long Ju. Even if they were better, he would not change. The Taigu Mo Long Ju was unique to his Taigu Mo Long 5 souls. It could be said that no other cultivation technique was more suitable for him. Regarding true energy, Yang Chen believed that he had already reached the limit for his current cultivation level. Even if the quality of his true energy could be improved, he did not plan to do so for the time being. The higher the level of true energy, the slower the cultivation progress would be. What he needed most now was cultivation level. His current true energy was already a bit too high. If he improved it any further, his cultivation speed would suffer greatly. Well, it's a technique unique to my 5 souls, and I think it's very good. Elder Rong was stunned. His 5 souls had their own cultivation technique. This was unheard of. In Elder Rong's memory, even those legendary heavenly souls did not have their own cultivation techniques. Little Chen. Elder Rong, still in shock, thought that Yang Chen might be joking. Can you show me how you use it? Then, Yang Chen began to use Kan Tian Jing. He didn't know what level the Taigu Mo Long Ju was, so maybe Elder Rong could assess it. As Yang Chen used Kan Tian Jing, Elder Rong was immediately stunned. He could feel the spiritual energy in the secret room rushing madly into Yang Chen's body. This is strange. It's not just fire energy, there's also a bit of pure energy in it. But that wasn't the point. The point was that Elder Rong had discovered a hint of primal fire. How can this kid have the aura of primal fire? It was unbelievable. Even those top cultivators in the world did not truly understand the meaning of primal fire, because it was the origin of everything. There were endless years before the ancient times. All dimensions were once a vast void. There was no life in the void, only endless chaos, which represented nothingness, disorder, destruction, despair, and so on. It was the source of all negativity. In the endless void, under the torment of chaos energy, a voice was born. It wasn't the fire energy that today's cultivators controlled. It was primal fire. The primal fire ignited the void with chaos as its fuel, dispelling the darkness. The light of creation, nurturing the material world, nurturing countless forms of life. Those with flesh and blood, those with energy, those without form, and so on. The primordial flame is the origin of all things. Not just the origin of life. Later, the primordial flame split. How it split, even Elder Rong was not clear about. As an intangible life form, he possessed an infinite lifespan and was incredibly sensitive to the primordial flame. Elder Rong knew this well. Now, in the endless void, countless terrifying demonic beings exist. These chaos demons were extremely powerful and ferocious. They sought to destroy everything in the void, making them enemies of all intelligent life. Elder Rong's previous master was also killed in battle against Chaos Demons. Chaos Demons were too powerful for intelligent beings. But Chaos Demons had one fatal weakness: the primordial flame. However, because almost no intelligent Elder Rong was bewildered. How could a weakling like Yang Chen, with only a D-Way cultivation level, possess the aura of the primordial flame? Had he come into contact with it somehow? After a while, Elder Rong calmed down and asked cautiously, "Young man, why do you possess the aura of the primordial flame when you cultivate?" Primordial flame. Yang Chen thought nothing of it, but quickly understood. It was because he had absorbed the primordial flame that the Taigu Mo Long Wuhan was able to be subdued. Perhaps, because of the primordial flame within his 5 souls, he exuded a trace of primordial flame when he used the Kantian Jing. Understanding, Yang Chen replied, "I subdued a type of sun fire some time ago. It's natural that I would have a bit of its aura." Upon hearing the word Sunfire, the Ghost Star King, which had been residing within Yang Chen, jumped out. It had become as large as an ink slab, flickering with red light. Old Rong fainted. "Did you know what the primordial flame is? Do you know what it means? Do you know its power? To subdue the primordial flame. That's the biggest joke I've ever heard in my life." This old thing looked down on him. Yang Chen couldn't help but feel a bit resentful. Thus, he decided to manifest his Lai Chi Wuzhu. He would show this old thing. Not only had he subdued the sunfire, he had used it as the core to nurture his 5 souls. Yang Chen manifested his Lai Chi Wuzhu, a domineering aura filling the entire chamber. It didn't react at all. Witnessing the Lai Chi Wuzhu, Elder Rong was speechless. Even when facing his previous masters, he had never been so moved. As an intangible life form, he had witnessed the primordial flame with his own eyes. Perhaps ordinary cultivators couldn't discern Yang Chen's 5 souls, but Elder Rong was different. He could see that within the core of Yang Chen's 5 souls was a small flame, red within the purple, purple within the red. This was the primordial flame. Elder Rong remained silent until Yang Chen dissipated his Lai Chi Wuzhu. "That's right, it's the primordial flame. Or at least a seed of it. It seems like Old Rong, will not be trapped here for much longer." Elder Rong was excited. He knew that with the primordial flame, Yang Chen's destiny would not be confined by this world. His destined battle was in the endless void. His enemies were countless, cruel, and powerful chaos demons. He will become the protector of countless material worlds and an unprecedented legend. Elder Rong felt incredibly lucky to have met a future protector in a desolate place. Although this protector still has to grow, he is destined to be the protector. With the primordial flame, he will become invincible, and receive the blessings of heaven and earth. His name will be known throughout the vast universe. Master. Elder Rong was about to say, but couldn't get the words out. He was no ordinary person. He was the supreme protector. Yang Chen was startled by this. He didn't expect Elder Rong to say such a thing. He wasn't used to it. "Elder Rong, just call me Chen. It's more familiar and comfortable." Yang Chen was puzzled. He couldn't understand what this old guy was thinking. Thinking of this kid's character, Elder Rong sighed. It was true, this kid had no idea what the primordial flame meant. Elder Rong changed his tone. "Chen, you must improve your Lai Chi Wuzhu as soon as possible. You have to make it evolve. It is quite different from before, and quite suitable." Yang Chen replied perfunctorily. "What a joke. Do you think evolving the Lai Chi Wuzhu is that easy? Without a special opportunity, it is simply impossible." Elder Rong also knew that if Yang Chen's 5 souls did not evolve, they would be weak in front of stronger beings. If those stronger beings had evil intentions, it would be disastrous, especially since his primordial flame was still weak. If it was discovered by chaos demons, then it would be the end. It would be a joke if the protector of the void fell before he even grew. However, throughout history, the protectors have been mysterious. I've never heard of one that has fallen before even rising. One step at a time, Elder Rong sighed. "Chen, let me see your true energy. Even if it's not as important as the 5 souls, it's still important." After a while, Elder Rong remembered that Yang Chen had said that his talents had reached a peak and was very curious. He had seen a lot of different talent. If Yang Chen, as a protector, had a single type of talent, that would be even more surprising. "Okay." As Yang Chen agreed, he activated his holy flame true energy, and compressed it into a small flame in his palm. He was curious about what Elder Rong would think. Seeing the flame in Yang Chen's hand, Elder Rong was shocked and recognized it right away. "This is great sacred light flame. How did you fuse it with fire attribute true energy?" Elder Rong felt like he was being surprised too much. But since he had already seen the primordial flame, seeing great sacred light flame wasn't as shocking. After all, the other party was the mysterious protector. Anything could happen to him. Elder Rong wanted to guide young Chen, but seeing this, he had no words. This kid had fused great sacred light flame in the Wuzhong realm. Yang Chen could sense how shocked Elder Rong was, and he felt very pleased. Then, Yang Chen dissipated his holy flame true energy, and activated his dark nether true energy. Instantly, a dark aura surrounded Yang Chen, blurring his figure. The training room turned cold and silent. Even for Elder Rong, he hadn't seen the depths of Yang Chen's dark nether true energy. He thought it felt somewhat familiar, but had to think about it. Once he recognized it, Elder Rong was stunned again. The protector is not like other beings. This dark energy actually contains the aura of deathly nether arts. Elder Rong couldn't understand how this kid had done it. Deathly nether arts were something from the abyss, something that was only found in that realm. But Yang Chen had obtained it. It was simply too bizarre. At that moment, Elder Rong blurted out, "This is like he has a cheat code. How can other cultivators even compare? Chen, your deathly nether true energy is extremely powerful, but it's hard to evolve. And you should have felt some pressure, right? You must feel that it's very difficult to cultivate." Elder Rong sighed. It seemed he was worrying needlessly. This meant his cultivation was very slow, but Yang Chen replied, "It's fine. I have a lot of resources. I can handle it. You can handle it. Do you even know what you're talking about?" Elder Rong was speechless. He felt like he wanted to curse. Elder Rong was no longer surprised when he saw Yang Chen's DMO true energy, but when he saw Yang Chen condense a light purple ball, Elder Rong was stunned. Just like when he had seen the primordial flame, he was terrified. What was this? Lightning attribute true energy. A lightning attribute celestial Taoist. In the void, they are also called near-god celestial Taoists. Every lightning attribute celestial Taoist was legendary. Elder Rong didn't even think that one would exist in the entire region. Lightning attribute celestial Taoists are too rare. This is too terrifying. It is said that lightning attribute celestial Taoist can easily slay enemies across the vast universe. The current world was just a mid-level world. How could such a celestial Taoist be born? It was impossible. Chen, after entering the Dongchuan secret realm, call for me. Elder Rong was at a loss. There was nothing he could offer Yang Chen. He made an excuse and then transformed into a finger-sized version of the Ghost Star King, and stayed close to Yang Chen. Yang Chen, who had been extremely excited just now, was a little disappointed. After all this time, he hadn't gotten anything from this old thing. Was I being fooled? But when he remembered that the other party didn't want to trouble him, he felt less bothered by it. With the Ghost Star King's protection, Yang Chen felt much more confident. Even if he encountered some powerful beings, he wouldn't be afraid. He was filled with anticipation for the upcoming Dongchuan secret realm. Perhaps the Dongchuan secret realm will be the place he truly rises. With more wild thoughts, Yang Chen finalized his decision on the list of disciples that would be sent to Dongchuan secret realm. He led several elders, heading towards the ancient city. The reason why the Eastern Emperor was so eager to move forward was that he worried about the entrance of the Dongchuan secret realm being in the extreme east. Because it was very important to their sect. Once the envoy from Dongchuan succeeded in opening the entrance, the sect would have to make sure they controlled the entrance, so they wouldn't be at the mercy of others, especially with the possibility of the Yi family collaborating with the Taiha sect. This made the Eastern Emperor feel worried. He hoped that once the Dongchuan secret realm was opened, some of the disciples sent in would accomplish something. He did not expect them to be on par with those major powers. Even if one of them joined a second-rate power in Dongchuan, he would be satisfied. The Eastern Emperor could feel Yi Wufeng's intentions. He wanted to dominate the East, making them enemies to each other. Time flowed like the turning of a windmill, never stopping. A month passed in the blink of an eye. A shocking piece of news spread across the Eastern land. It was said that a huge secret realm entrance had been successfully opened near the ancient city located at the border between the Eastern Emperor's sect and the Dongtu Kingdom. The place where the secret realm entrance was located had been heavily guarded by both the sect and the royal family. The good news was that all cultivators below the Purple Mansion realm could enter the Dongchuan secret realm regardless of their affiliation. Yi Wufeng insisted that the Dongchuan secret realm should be open to all cultivators, so that the entire eastern land could progress. In fact, everyone knew that Yi Wufeng just wanted cannon fodder to clear the path for the Yi family elites. Of course, Eastern Emperor's sect would also benefit from it. However, the Eastern Emperor warned everyone that the Dongchuan secret realm was very dangerous. Those below the Wuzhong realm were not allowed to go. In the afternoon, Yang Chen, Jian Wak, and Xian Lingqi returned to the Eastern Emperor's city. Xian Boguang was extremely happy when he saw Yang Chen. Not because of Yang Chen, but because he had not seen his daughter for a while and missed her. Xian Lingqi ran to Duan Mumeng, looking at her mother, who seemed to have gotten younger. She was incredibly excited, and it was as if she was seeing her parents for the first time. It seemed like they were very happy together. Xiao Ling was still as lively as ever, pulling Jian Wuk and excitedly sharing her experiences. Jing Han went to the side of her aunt, and they whispered to each other. Only Yang Chen was like an outsider. However, when he looked at the scene, he did not feel any sense of loss, but rather a sense of accomplishment. A warm atmosphere enveloped them all. Nothing. Looking at the black iron sword on Yang Chen's back, Old Man Gongsun cursed angrily. A confused Yang Chen looked at Old Man Gongsun, looking at his disgruntled face. Master, why am I useless? Pulling on his beard, Old Man Gongsun said, Kid, it's been a year, and you still haven't made any progress. What are you good for? Yang Chen was speechless. A year had passed, and his black iron sword was exactly the same as before. Not only that, but Yang Chen hadn't even managed to get the slightest reaction from it, let alone awaken it. The black iron sword was made of the legendary Xian Yang wood, so it wouldn't be easy to awaken it. Yang Chen wanted to refute, but when he remembered that the black iron sword had been given to him by the old man, he decided to just endure the scolding. But seeing that Yang Chen didn't retort, Old Man Gongsun got even angrier. Did you not hear a word I said? Did it all go in one ear and out the other? That's not true, Yang Chen said. I remember every word of your teachings. Is that the look of remembering? You must be joking. I wasn't going to say anything because you are going to Dongchuan's secret realm tomorrow, but your attitude has a big problem. What's wrong? Yang Chen laughed. It was like the old man was just looking for someone to vent his anger on. And Yang Chen was right. Last night, Old Man Gongsun was a complete mess. He was still not himself when he woke up. The reason for this was that, recently, Old Man Gongsun had found a drinking buddy, and the man was the leader of the Dagong Pagoda. Sadly, Old Man Gongsun had lost every single round to him. Seeing Old Man Gongsun's outburst, Zhenbuguan and the others all came over to see what was going on. Kid, with your talent, you didn't make any progress in a whole year. How can you be so useless? You need to ask yourself how long it took your master to awaken his talent. You are already in Wu Zhong realm. Do you want to wait until you reach the heavenly fusion realm to think about it? As a pure swordsman, Old Man Gongsun just wanted to push Yang Chen. He couldn't stand Yang Chen's carefree attitude. And with Yang Chen entering the Dongchuan secret realm soon, Old Man Gongsun thought he needed to give him a push. Yang Chen was annoyed. It was not like he didn't want to awaken his talent. But it wasn't like it was something he could control. Xiaozhen seemed to see through Old Man Gongsun's intentions. You lazy bum. Have you been having too much fun on the mountain? Xianbuguang saw the old man was angry, and immediately stood on his side. His smile from earlier instantly disappeared. Staring at Yang Chen, they mocked, Yang Chen, you're finally doing something for us. Do you even know where we are? This is Donghuang City. We're from Tiannan. Faced with the crowd, Xian Lingxi, Duanmo Manghua, and even Luo Ju were helpless, merely watching the spectacle. So lively. The dog, Little Black, was also barking excitedly, adding to the chaos. Normally, Little Black would be silent in Yang Chen's presence, knowing that Yang Chen hated his yapping. But now, with so many people against Yang Chen, he wasn't afraid. Compared to Yang Chen, the others in the Jin sect were in a worse state. Some even sustained minor injuries, injured right after entering. Not a good start. It seemed the elder from the Dongchuan sect hadn't done a great job of setting up the entrance formation. The Jian sect disciples quickly gathered together. Yang Chen was surprised by this space. He could tell it was extremely stable, even more so than the outside world. In the distance, they could see the outline of mountains. Everywhere else, it was filled with green grass and vibrant life. This is truly different from the Tiannan secret realm, he thought. The Jian sect's secret realm can't compare. A moment later, Yang Chen came back to his senses and realized something was wrong. Before Yang Chen could guess, an official from Donghuang City, with a high rank, addressed the Jian sect disciples. Fellow disciples, we are now in the legendary Dongchuan secret realm. There are countless spiritual herbs and treasures here. In short, there are endless opportunities. If we all stick together, we will likely clash over resources. I suggest we split up. Donghuang Wangkai immediately protested. The sect master told us 3 times that the secret realm is full of dangers, not just opportunities. We should stay united and proceed cautiously. Donghuang Jia, who was already unhappy with Donghuang Wangkai leading, scoffed. Wangkai, don't use my father's words as your command. Who here wants to follow me? After Donghuang Jia finished speaking, Su Qiuyao spoke coldly, they'll follow Donghuang Jia. What about you? The other Jian sect geniuses, who had been hesitant, decided to side with Donghuang Jia, showing how influential Su Qiuyao was. Now, only Donghuang Ling, along with Yang Chen and Jian Wuk, who had Little Black, were left standing beside Donghuang Wangkai. Laughing, Donghuang Jia took one last look at Donghuang Wangkai, whose face was turning blue. He continued, Junior brother Wangkai, I wish you endless opportunities in the secret realm. With that, Dong Huang Jia led his group away. Dong Huang Lin, who had been silent until then, spoke to comfort Dong Huang Wankai, senior brother Wankai, let them go. If they get into trouble, it's their own fault. If they get into trouble, they have only themselves to blame. Dong Huang Wankai nodded reluctantly. In reality, the sect master had asked her a favor. To take care of Dong Huang Ling in the secret realm. Dong Huang Haojing had always groomed Dong Huang Ling to be the next sect master. Without Dong Huang Lin, Yang Chen would be happy to stay with Dong Huang Wankai since they were close friends. But with outsiders present, it was inconvenient. Yang Chen didn't want to reveal his secrets, even if Dong Huang Lin seemed nice. After thinking for a moment, Yang Chen looked at Dong Huang Wankai and said, Wankai, Wuk and I will go on our own. You should stick with Dong Huang Ling. Dong Huang Wankai was even more confused. If the others had chosen sides because of Dong Huang Jia and Su Qiuyao, then what was Yang Chen's intention? Dong Huang Wankai thought that with Yang Chen and Jian Wuk's low cultivation, they were putting themselves at risk. Seeing Dong Huang Wankai's expression, Yang Chen transmitted his voice, Wankai, we'll go our separate ways. We'll definitely meet again soon. With Dong Huang Ling here, it's a bit inconvenient. Understanding this, Dong Huang Wankai finally agreed. So, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk left, with Little Black. The leader, Dong Huang Wankai, was now only leading Dong Huang Ling. Not long after Yang Chen and Jian Wuk left, several figures fell from the sky nearby, some even crying out in pain. A group of elites from the Yi clan landed first. Yi Ganfu was the first to get up and noticed only Dong Huang Wankai and Dong Huang Ling were there. His face darkened. They escaped quickly enough. Yi Ganfu thought, this is the Dongchuan secret realm, where can they go? Yi Ganfu, who was also at the 9th level of the Heavenly Harmony realm, also had a secret mission from the Dongtu Empire. Besides finding opportunities, their main task in the Dongchuan secret realm was to hunt down Yang Chen. Yang Chen, Jian Wuk, and Little Black ascended into the sky, looking down at the earth below. Jian Wuk said proudly, bro, do you believe that in less than 3 years, you'll make those geniuses of the Dongchuan sect cry for their mothers? Yang Chen laughed, he had no doubt about it. This was just the first level of the Dongchuan secret realm, where cultivation was limited to the Heavenly Harmony realm. With such a treasure here, it would only take 1 year for the two brothers to reach the Heavenly Harmony realm. Once they reached the Heavenly River realm, Yang Chen believed that they could even fight cultivators at the higher stages of the Heavenly River realm. Of course, he didn't know what was so special about the geniuses of the Dongchuan sect. They must be a lot stronger than normal geniuses. Little Wuk, you're so unambitious. Why 3 years? Well, sweep through the first level of the Dongchuan secret realm in a year. Let those geniuses of the Dongchuan sect open their eyes and see what it means to have someone beyond someone, and a heaven beyond heaven. 1 year. Jian Wuk was embarrassed. He thought that saying 3 years was already an exaggeration. My brother is talking big. Is 1 year even possible? Suddenly, Little Black, who had been flying carelessly, suddenly cried out in alarm. Before Yang Chen could reprimand him, Little Black sent him a frantic message. Yang Chen, be careful. There's a great demon ahead. A great demon. Yang Chen kicked Little Black. You're too nervous. I didn't even sense anything. If there really is a great demon, it's far away. Why are you so dramatic? A moment later, a powerful demonic wind swept through, bringing a strong killing aura. Bro, Jian Wuk was shocked. If we really meet a fierce great demon in the Heavenly Harmony realm, we're in big trouble. Yang Chen also sensed a threat from the demonic wind, and quickly ordered Little Black to descend. They landed in a dense forest below. Just as Yang Chen and Jian Wuk, along with Little Black, entered the forest, a terrifying sound came from the sky, filled with piercing lightning and power. They saw a black figure fall from the sky, leaving a trail of blood behind. Little Black was cowering on the ground, so quiet that he wasn't even breathing. I think that's a demon. I'm sure it reached a high stage of the Heavenly Harmony realm. Yang Chen nodded. He could recognize that massive creature, a flying lightning wolf. The flying lightning wolf isn't a dark demon. While it isn't the fastest in the air, its lightning strikes are very deadly. The flying lightning wolf above was severely injured and was falling towards the forest. Suddenly, a red glow appeared in the sky in the distance. It was like a tornado of fire being sucked towards a certain place. After the fire faded, Yang Chen's eyes widened in disbelief. That's a night owl. It was small but severely injured, a night owl. Yang Chen was shocked. He didn't expect that they would encounter such high-level demons so soon. The night owl is a very powerful demon. It's said to be extremely dangerous. The night owl is born with a natural ability that allows it to manipulate space freely. After the two injured demons landed, the forest where Yang Chen was hiding became extremely dangerous. It was way too dangerous. At this moment, Yang Chen realized the true dangers of the Dongchuan secret realm. It wasn't just full of opportunities. It was also filled with threats. If they hadn't acted decisively, they would have been in big trouble. I might be okay, But what about Wuk and Little Black? He had to be careful. After this encounter, Yang Chen had to abandon his plan. He was too careless. Yang Chen and Jian Wuk became more cautious. For the next 10 days, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk, although they didn't encounter the first day's incident, didn't find any treasures, even opportunities, not even a herb. In Yang Chen's words, too bad. Instead, he always thought about those unimaginable rumors. Yang Chen felt a slight tremor coming from the ground. Don't move. Yang Chen suddenly saw an ancient building nearby, and was very happy. Let's go. He shouted. We're there. We can have our fill. Jian Wuk, who was always excited, also looked eagerly at the large building. Okay. In the middle of the run, Jian Wuk's body started to glow, covered in a layer of dark aura. Jian Wuk's demonic body had reached the 3rd stage. Normal demons were no match for him. All these days, whenever they encountered demons, Jian Wuk would fight them. He was using them to hone his demonic body. In their fight, the demons released a path. In less than a second, the building turned into a living creature, trying to escape, but it was too late. Jian Wuk crushed it with his demonic body. It was a terrible sight. Right then, several figures descended from the sky, landing near Jian Wuk. Yang Chen became vigilant. It's been almost 2 weeks. We've finally met some living people. Yang Chen scanned the group of 5. They were dressed in similar outfits and radiated a powerful energy. They were likely from a Dongchuan family. Brothers, this demon was our target. We've been chasing it. Thank you for helping us. The young man, who looked like a leader, sized up Jian Wuk and Yang Chen, trying to gauge their strength. Before Jian Wuk could speak, Yang Chen stepped forward. He looked the group up and down. They all seemed normal. We are from the Tiannan region. Yang Chen signaled Jian Wuk with his eyes. They should go inside. The young man, with a distinctive look, seemed to realize something. You two, are you from Tiannan? Yang Chen, surprised that he was recognized, nodded. It's really you. I'm also here for training. Upon learning that Yang Chen and Jian Wuk were from Tiannan, the young man, who had been cautious, suddenly became haughty. They were Dongchuan geniuses, much better than Yang Chen and Jian Wuk. So you're the Tiannan people, the young man said, showing a condescending attitude. We heard our seniors mention that Tiannan is a desolate place. This time, the elders are allowing the commoners to train with us, but you should be careful. The opportunities are dangerous but rewarding. You should take what is yours. Of course. Yang Chen didn't care about the others' attitude. He thought these people were just ordinary geniuses from Dongchuan. He wasn't interested. He was more interested in the treasures within the building. Of course, the young man said. We're already on the 1st level. All the good stuff here has been claimed by the major families. For example, about 6,000 miles southwest of here is Anti-King City. That is the most stable place in the whole of this space. The greatest treasure is located in Anti-King City. It's already been 10 days. We have wasted enough time. It turned out that all the great opportunities in the secret realm had already been plundered. No wonder they're so relaxed, he thought. If I were the top genius of Dongchuan, I'd probably do the same thing. People prioritize their own interests. It seemed that if he wanted to get treasures, he first had to go to Anti-King City. Without changing his expression, Yang Chen said, "Thank you for the information. We appreciate the advice. We all are from different families, who knows if we are not from the same family? Big brother." The young girl said with a smile, "You said a lot. You can't be older than me." After a while, Yang Chen learned that the kind young woman's name was Jin Xiao. The others were her fellow disciples. Only Jin Xiao was willing to talk to Yang Chen. The others, including Jin Xiao's sister, Jin Keiju, didn't want anything to do with him. It was as if interacting with Yang Chen would degrade their status. The young man was even more displeased seeing that Jin Xiao was interested in Yang Chen, especially when Yang Chen and Jian Wuk were only at the initial realm, not good enough for them. What made him laugh was that these barbarians were even dragging around a big dog at the true martial realm. They probably thought the Tiannan secret realm was their backyard. Peng Hong was a little strange. These Tiannan barbarians were lucky to not have been eaten by the demons. After gathering the valuables from the demon, Peng Hong didn't want to stay any longer. He urged his fellow disciples, "Let's go back." With that, Peng Hong took to the air, ignoring Yang Chen and Jian Wuk. The others followed suit. Only Jin Xiao looked at Yang Chen and Jian Wuk and asked, "Are you going to Anti-King City?" Yang Chen, who was feeling troubled, feigned a look of embarrassment. "Miss, we're from a small place. It would be great to see Anti-King City, but, we're from a small place. It would be great to see Anti-King City, but," Jin Xiao smiled and said, "Then let's go together. We're heading back to the city now." "Okay." Yang Chen replied happily. That was exactly what he wanted. Flying into the sky, Jianwuk and Xiaohe followed, while Yang Chen seemed to be gliding, defying all logic. Seeing this, the nearby man was furious. If not for common sense, he would have attacked. The moment the man had the killing intent, Yang Chen sensed it. The power of the Taigu Mo Long Wuhan was a little excessive in that aspect. However, Yang Chen didn't care. His mind was focused on learning more about the secret realm from the beauty before him. After all, she was from a major sect in Eastern Chu, so she surely knew a lot about the secrets. The beauty, Jin Xiao, could see that Yang Chen was eager to learn. She patiently explained some basic information along the way. What surprised Yang Chen was that the innate energy between cultivators could be devoured by others if both sides were willing. From this, Yang Chen figured that in Eastern Chu, sects were more abundant than those in the remote wildlands. It was no wonder why they looked down on the wildlands. Even the strongest sects in the wildlands only had 3 training areas. In less than half an hour, Yang Chen arrived at Conlong City with Jin Xiao's group. Conlong City was small, but the materials used for its construction were said to be resistant to dragons. The closer Yang Chen got to Conlong City, the more he could feel a faint pressure emanating from the White City. It was clearly the pressure from the dragon-resistant materials. No beasts dared to approach the city. Yang Chen learned from Jin Xiao that Conlong City was considered a remote area in the Eastern Chu secret realm. The leaders of the city were from a third-rate sect and some older families, and Jin Xiao was from that sect. The city gate was wide open, with numerous buildings packed inside. The city was lively and prosperous. Yang Chen saw many young cultivators, as well as some older ones traveling alone or in small groups. Although the city entry was free, the accommodation costs were very expensive. Out of kindness, Jin Xiao led Yang Chen and Jianwuk to an inn owned by her sect. As they entered the inn, Yang Chen noticed many young cultivators. A tall and handsome young man saw Jin Xiao and greeted her with a smile. He was very happy to see Jin Xiao. However, when he noticed the 2 strangers behind her, his smile faded and he looked at them with suspicion. Jin Xiao said calmly, "Brother Yu, these are cultivators from the wildlands. They came here for the first time, so I'm showing them around." The young man was clearly displeased. "Junior sister, you're too kind-hearted. It's fine if those 2 are weak, but what if they cause trouble?" Jin Xiao explained a little awkwardly, "Senior brother, they are not bad people." "All right." The senior brother looked at Yang Chen and Jianwuk more friendly. "Junior sister, let's go to the Dragon Mark Shrine tomorrow." After Jin Xiao agreed, the senior brother left happily. Jin Xiao explained to Yang Chen, "Don't mind him, Yang Chen. Senior brother Yu is a good guy." Yang Chen just smiled. This girl was too naive. That was not straightforward, it was clearly looking down on people. Yang Chen ignored all of that and focused on the Dragon Mark Shrine that the senior brother had mentioned. "Sister Xiao, what is the Dragon Mark Shrine? Is it related to dragons?" Jin Xiao nodded. "It's indeed related to dragons. It is outside the north of the city and is a place filled with pure energy. Many cultivators come to Conlong City to comprehend the Dragon Mark Shrine." After her explanation, Jin Xiao's kindness came out again. She offered to take Yang Chen and Jianwuk with her the next day. "Even if you can't understand the Dragon Mark, you might get some pure energy." "Thank you, but I'd like to look around the city. We can go to the Dragon Mark Shrine ourselves." After saying goodbye to Jin Xiao, Yang Chen walked around the inn and learned that the cost of the cheapest meal was so expensive. The cheapest lodging also was expensive. Yang Chen had to pay for it. If he couldn't even afford a place to stay after entering Conlong City, it would be embarrassing. Yang Chen, feeling unhappy, spent spirit stones to rent a small yard. The next morning, Yang Chen, Jianwuk, and Xiaohe left their yard and ran into Jin Xiao again. She was also going to the Dragon Mark Shrine. Yui Xiong was clearly surprised to see that the 2 cultivators from the wildlands were actually going as well. Did they think that the sect members were easy to deal with? Out of respect for Jin Xiao, Yui Xiong didn't say anything. In his mind, it was below him to argue with cultivators from the wildlands. The group set out toward the north of the city. On the way, Yang Chen could feel that the other cultivators from Eastern Chu were very disdainful towards him and Jianwuk. Only the silly girl, Jin Xiao, was an exception. Yang Chen was annoyed. He paid for his stay. Besides, everyone was going to the Dragon Mark Shrine. They had no right to behave like that. It seemed that, in the eyes of all Eastern Chu cultivators, the wildlands were nothing. The wildlands cultivators had to bow down to them. Yang Chen laughed to himself. He believed that it wouldn't be long before these people learned their lesson. He had to earn respect for the wildlands. Up ahead, Yang Chen saw a red forest. Although the forest was over 1,000 meters away, Yang Chen could smell a pungent and bloody stench. As they got closer, Yang Chen saw that the stone pillars were all different shapes. Almost all of the pillars had a patterned area. There were many cultivators meditating below the pillars. Yang Chen knew that this red stone forest must be the Dragon Mark Shrine. Could this place have been visited by a real dragon? Yang Chen followed the sect members to the Dragon Mark Shrine. Yang Chen noticed that a woman in a blue dress was sitting on top of one of the red stone pillars. Everyone else was meditating at the bottom, while she was sitting at the top. Jin Xiao seemed very excited when she saw the woman and rushed towards her. The woman was startled by Jin Xiao, but looked happy to see her. Jin Xiao, I knew you would come. You should have entered the secret realm sooner. This place is good. You should focus on your cultivation here. Jin Xiao nodded enthusiastically. Yue Xiong and others, who were previously so arrogant, immediately bowed before the woman in blue. Yang Chen figured that the woman must be from their sect and of a high status. Yang Chen didn't want to bother with her. He and Jian Wuk went to a place that was shaped like a sword. 3 people were already cultivating, one of them was getting up to leave. He took a glance at Yang Chen with a look of disdain before he left. How dare a nobody try to cultivate here? Yang Chen ignored him and focused on the sword-shaped pillar. He could feel the faint aura of wind. Soon, Yang Chen found the source. It was the pattern on the pillar which was said to be the dragon mark. After telling Jian Wuk to be careful, Yang Chen sat down and focused, using the Kantian Jing to study the mark. Suddenly, the red pillar emitted a blinding red light. The red light shot up into the sky, as high as 100 meters. This shocked almost everyone at the Dragon Mark Shrine. It was the Dragon Mark light. Who is it? Who has comprehended the Dragon Mark? It must be someone at the sword-shaped pillar. Did someone comprehend the dragon sword technique? I think it might be Feng Yi. He's very talented with swords. He has always tried to understand the dragon sword. He must be very happy now that his wish has finally come true. The person who was originally cultivating at the sword-shaped pillar was also shocked. He looked at Yang Chen with envy. Who is that guy? I don't recognize him. Where did he come from? Although he was curious, Feng Yi knew that this was not the time to ask. He would wait until Yang Chen was done. The sect members were also shocked. Even the woman in blue looked over in curiosity. She was surprised to see Feng Yi was confused. If it's not Feng Yi, then who could it be? It's that stranger. The woman vaguely remembered him coming with Xin Xiao. How can he trigger the dragon mark? What kind of talent is this? The woman asked Xin Xiao. Where did that kid come from? Xin Xiao, hearing the question while looking at the light in the sky, replied, he's from the wildlands. This is his first time in the secret realm. Why? Did he cause trouble, senior sister? He's not causing trouble, he's making an unbelievable scene. Aren't the wildlands very remote? How could they have such a talent? There must be a mistake. Even those second-rate sects of Eastern Chu wouldn't comprehend a dragon mark so quickly. Could this kid be a genius? More and more people gathered near the sword-shaped pillar. Everyone wanted to see who had caused the dragon mark light. The fool who gave up his spot for Yang Chen returned, completely dumbfounded. He couldn't believe that the man he had mocked was actually the one who triggered the dragon mark. How can this be? I actually missed out on a genius. He's just at the Qi condensation realm. Where did he come from? The sect members from the sect were completely stunned. For 2 days they had mocked and looked down on Yang Chen. Where did this wildlands kid get such luck? Yue Xiong was very jealous and couldn't accept what had just happened. Jin Xiao just stared blankly, unable to say a word. At that moment, Yang Chen's soul entered a strange place. He saw a huge man with red skin, red hair, and red eyes. He was wearing red armor, wielding a strange weapon, and his aura was terrifying. The man was very tall. He had 2 red horns on his head. Clearly, this was not a human, but a being who had transformed into a human shape. The terrifying man held a strange weapon. It was a long sword with a strange shape. The man held the red sword and slashed. In that instant, Yang Chen saw a flash of red light, followed by the appearance of a tiny crack in the sky. Yang Chen was shocked. Who is this? He's too powerful. He could actually tear space apart. The most frightening thing was that the torn space wouldn't heal up. At his current level, Yang Chen couldn't understand that kind of power. But he clearly knew that the man in the air was very powerful. Suddenly, the man unleashed another strike, even more terrifying. The sky was instantly ripped apart, creating a bloody gash. Without stopping, the man unleashed a third strike. This time, the man unleashed a blood-colored beam. It was a beam of red sword energy. The beam was so fast that a bloody vortex appeared in the distance. Yang Chen realized that this attack had torn through space and created a black hole. Just as Yang Chen was about to look more carefully, the man in the sky vanished. At the same time, his soul returned to his body. At that moment, the red light on the sword-shaped pillar slowly faded. A faint red glow appeared on the pillar, then it entered into the black sword on Yang Chen's back. The dragon mark on the pillar had also faded. Although many people were at the sword-shaped pillar, no one noticed the change. They were all focused on Yang Chen. So powerful. Yang Chen exclaimed. Those 3 sword techniques were definitely not weaker than his skills. When he saw all the people around him, he was confused. Jianwok rushed to his side and asked, "Bro, did you comprehend the dragon sword technique?" "So those 3 moves were the dragon sword technique," Yang Chen replied, nodding naturally. Yang Chen's words stunned everyone. Impossible. He couldn't have understood the entire dragon sword technique. That kid is just bragging. No one has ever comprehended even the 2nd move. Let's put that aside. How could he have comprehended the entire dragon sword technique? I heard that the strongest person from the Great Han Sword sect 100 years ago only managed to comprehend the 2nd move of the Blood Dragon Sword technique. How ignorant. Without exception, these talented cultivators were all agitated, as if Yang Chen had committed some grave offense. Yang Chen chuckled, not bothering to argue with these people. Yang Chen ignored them, and instead turned to Jianwok. "Wok, although you are a body cultivator, this sword technique is extraordinary. If you have time, it wouldn't hurt to study it. I can comprehend it too." Jianwok was shocked. It wasn't just Jianwok, the onlookers were all stunned. They thought Yang Chen was crazy. It was one thing for him to comprehend the Blood Dragon sword technique, but he was even claiming to help others achieve it. Did he think Jianwok was his personal disciple? Amidst everyone's confusion, Yang Chen pulled Jianwok close to a stone pillar and whispered into his ear, "See the dragon patterns on the stone pillar. Put your hand on them, but don't do anything else." Jianwok, though confused, did as his brother told him. He placed his hand on the dragon patterns. Meanwhile, Yang Chen started to circulate the Kantian Jing, connecting to the patterns on the stone pillar. This time, everything went smoothly. In a few seconds, Jianwok was pulled into a mysterious illusion. Yang Chen was also surprised. He was surprised that he entered the illusion so easily after using the Kantian Jing. It felt a little strange. Yang Chen felt that the Kantian Jing wasn't this powerful. Maybe it was because of some other reason. It must be said, Yang Chen's intuition was correct. Even if the Kantian Jing was powerful, it was still difficult to use it to enter the Blood Dragon Sword technique's inheritance illusion. If it was that easy, why hasn't any super genius in Dongchuan ever fully inherited the Blood Dragon Sword technique? The main reason was still Yang Chen's aura. That's right, it was his aura. The Taigu Mo Long Wuhan gave Yang Chen a unique aura that was difficult for ordinary people to detect. But if it was a dragon clan, they would clearly sense that it was the aura of the dragon clan's ancestor. The dragon pillar here was actually the remains of an ancient dragon. These inheritances were all attached with the remnants of that dragon's consciousness. It was difficult for ordinary people to obtain the inheritance. That's why, since ancient times, the geniuses of Dongchuan didn't gain much from coming to the dragon pillar. Most would only absorb a bit of innate energy from the vast, bloody spiritual energy. But Yang Chen, who possessed the aura of an ancient dragon, found it extremely easy to obtain the complete inheritance within the stone pillars. In no time, the dragon pillar glowed again. It was a blood-red light, soaring up. It was tens of feet high. This is impossible. Heavens! It's the dragon pattern light. Those who had previously mocked Yang Chen were now dumbfounded. Their eyes were popping out. They couldn't believe it. It was simply against the natural order. Jin Xiao, who was familiar with Yang Chen, couldn't help but come forward and ask in shock, "Yang Chen, how did you do it? It's so magical. What's so special about this?" Yang Chen said with a boastful tone, "Little sister, I am a top disciple of the Eastern Emperor Sword sect. If I didn't have these skills, how could I be outstanding in such a competitive environment?" To be honest, Yang Chen despised the so-called geniuses of Dongchuan, but this kind and beautiful woman was different. Jin Xiao rolled her eyes at Yang Chen. She felt a little embarrassed to say it, but the Eastern Emperor's Sword sect wasn't that great in Dongchuan. If it were any other occasion, every young cultivator from Dongchuan would have looked down on the Eastern Emperor's Sword sect. But now, many cultivators started to think differently. If they could train a genius like Yang Chen, the Eastern Emperor's Sword sect must have something special about it. After a while, the red light on the stone pillar slowly dissipated, and Jianwok woke up, but his face was filled with regret. I knew it was impossible. How could I help someone else comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique? I'm just overthinking it. They were from Jidong, so they had never seen this type of weirdness. Look at that body cultivator, he even wanted to comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique. It's just a laughingstock. Amidst the mocking comments, Jianwok, looking a bit stunned, said to Yang Chen, "The third move is too profound. I haven't fully comprehended it." Jianwok's voice was not loud, but it was like a heavy hammer hitting the ears of these so-called geniuses. For a moment, the area near the dragon pillar became silent. Even Jin Xiao, along with all of the other geniuses, stared at Jianwok with disbelief, as if they had seen a ghost. Some even tried to find a hint of lying on Jianwok's face, but they failed. How can Yang Chen be so powerful? Does he have some special technique that can help others comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique? It doesn't make sense. It's completely unreasonable. Yang Chen, ignoring those people, looked at Jian Wuk. He smiled and said, "It's okay. I can teach you the third move of the Blood Dragon Sword technique later." Jin Shao, looking incredibly shocked, asked in disbelief, "Yang Chen, did he really comprehend all three moves of the Blood Dragon Sword technique? How did you do that?" Jin Shao's question was also everyone else's question. Is there any reason for me to lie? Little sister, why don't you try? Maybe you can also comprehend the full Blood Dragon Sword technique. Yang Chen didn't answer Jin Shao's question directly, but he was planning to help her out. He was grateful for her kindness. He had to repay even the smallest acts of kindness. Really? Can I really do it? Jin Shao was hesitant, but also in disbelief. She had not expected that Yang Chen would be willing to help her. Yang Chen chuckled, of course. He let the beautiful woman place her hand on the dragon pattern of the stone pillar. In a few moments, a blood-red light shot out of the stone pillar, shocking everyone. This is. The people who were questioning him earlier were now completely speechless. These people were now all looking at Yang Chen with excitement. If Yang Chen was willing to help them, they would all be able to comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique. However, Yang Chen completely ignored those people's obvious and eager expressions. But these people were all excited. They all knew that Yang Chen and his brother had rescued them from the wilderness. In this way, they might also have a chance to comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique. These people had never been kind to Yang Chen when they met in the wilderness. Even Jin Shao's younger sister was no exception. Especially when they reached the battle, Yue Xiong even developed hostility. After a while, the red light on the stone pillar slowly faded away. Jin Shao came back to her senses, her face filled with surprise and a hint of regret. "How is it, sister?" Jin Keiji asked her older sister. Jin Shao didn't answer her sister, but instead looked at Yang Chen. "Yang Chen, thank you. Unfortunately, my talent is limited. I can only comprehend the second move." As soon as she said that, the entire area was in shock. Jin Shao had comprehended two moves of the Blood Dragon Sword technique. Yue Xiong, who was a little impatient, also stepped forward and asked in a complex tone, "Yang Chen, can you help me too?" "Don't worry, you will have your chance." His tone still contained a hint of arrogance. It seemed that he still looked down on people from the border. "Sorry, I only have 3 chances." Yang Chen immediately refused. Of course, Yang Chen would never help Yue Xiong. He could clearly sense the other person's hostility. 3 chances. What does that mean? Oh well, you don't have a chance. Everyone realized that Yang Chen had mastered a magical skill. No, it should be called a divine skill. If this skill could be used without restraint, that would be incredible. So, those who were so enthusiastic earlier were now leaving in disappointment, stomping their feet, and even glaring at Yang Chen and Jian Wuk. Everyone had left, except for a few people from the Yen Dao sect. The leader of the group was a beautiful woman. She had been silent this whole time, but now she stepped forward and looked at Yang Chen. She said calmly, "Yang Chen, right? My name is Lian Yue. I am also a sword cultivator. I would very much like to comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique. Tell me, what are the conditions for you to help me?" Yang Chen was surprised. Why did this woman think that he could still help her comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique? After a pause, Yang Chen shook his head and said honestly, "Miss Lian, I'm afraid I can't help you." Lian Yue took a deep look at Yang Chen. She then turned around and left without hesitation. The other young cultivators from Yen Dao sect also bowed to Yang Chen before leaving. Only Jin Shao stayed behind, looking conflicted. After a moment of hesitation, Jin Shao finally said, "Yang Chen, Lian Yue is a talented genius from our Yen Dao sect, and she is a good person." "Is there really no way?" Yang Chen shook his head firmly. What a silly girl. Obviously, Yang Chen didn't want to make too many enemies. If others knew he could help people infinitely comprehend the Blood Dragon Sword technique, it would become a huge problem. Yang Chen understood the principle of exposing yourself too early will attract trouble. Moreover, he was currently in contact with the geniuses of Dongtuan, so he couldn't be careless. It wasn't the right time yet. He was only in the Wuzhong realm. Once he reached the Tianhe realm, and could move freely in the first level of the secret realm of Dongtuan, he would be unstoppable. After telling Jin Sha to go back, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk settled down by the stone pillar, planning to study the Blood Dragon Sword technique. Suddenly, he heard a faint sound in his ear. Master, can you let me try the Blood Dragon Sword technique as well?" Yang Chen turned around and saw Shou Hei. He was stunned. What was going on? Even the black dog wanted to learn the profound sword technique. Could he really do it? Moreover, Shou Hei was only in the Jinwu realm. Could he comprehend such a profound sword technique? Even Jian Wuk couldn't fully comprehend the third move. Furthermore, Yang Chen had already said in front of so many people that he was unable to help anyone else comprehend the blood dragon sword technique. After a moment of thought, Yang Chen transmitted his voice to Xiao Hei, it's not that I don't want to. I've already learned all of the blood dragon sword technique. I will teach it to you later. Yang Chen was quite surprised by Xiao Hei's request. This guy was more than just a talking black dog with wings. No matter what, even if his talent was poor, he couldn't give up. He had to fulfill Xiao Hei's true intentions. For 3 consecutive days, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk quietly studied the blood dragon sword technique under the stone pillar. The more he studied, the more surprised Yang Chen became. He even felt that the blood dragon sword technique might be more powerful than the Ling Xiao sword technique. Could it be a celestial ranked technique? His Ling Xiao sword technique was a 5th grade earth rank technique. Many people came and went, but most of those who entered the dragon pattern shrine left in disappointment. Only a few were able to get a small, vague understanding from the blood-red stone pillars. The most outstanding geniuses could only barely absorb a bit of innate spiritual energy. Most people returned empty-handed. On the 4th day, as Yang Chen and Jian Wuk were planning to go deeper into the blood-red area, they saw a group of people coming. Among them were people that Yang Chen was familiar with, but they were not from his sect. They were from Dong too. The most beautiful of the group attracted the attention of many young cultivators from Dongchuan. She had a rare beauty. Such a beautiful woman. Could she be from a major sect in central Dongchuan? Her demeanor is incredible. She must be from a super family. Ignoring everyone's whispers, Yu Shaosheng spotted Yang Chen by the stone pillar. Her cold expression immediately turned into a smile. She moved towards Yang Chen and said softly, Yang Chen, our destiny is really strong. Her words had multiple meanings, and Yang Chen understood them, but he had not acquired the 1,000 illusion stone yet. Besides, Yang Chen felt that Yu Shaosheng was too cold. She was not his type. He chuckled, I guess you can say that this is destiny. Do you have any wine, beauty? Yu Shaosheng rolled her eyes at Yang Chen. He was still the same old Yang Chen, always so shameless. Jian Wuk had always disliked Yu Shaosheng and watched her with caution. He even had the thought to tell his sister-in-law about this and make his brother focus on cultivation instead of falling for any pretty woman he saw. After a short conversation, Yu Shaosheng felt a little uneasy. She could clearly feel that Yang Chen was trying to create a distance, unlike when they were together in Tiannan. After spending some time with Yang Chen, Yu Shaosheng left, joining the others. After that, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk led Xiao Hei towards the depths of the blood-red area. Look, that Yang Chen from the border is heading towards the depths of the shrine.